What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sally's Speed Shop. We are here in Bowling Green, Kentucky at Beech Bend Raceway Park. Got my buddy David with me in his Camaro. We've got the Javelin out here behind me, and even my wife is tagging along for this one. So we're doing a little weekend drag and drive with Sick the Magazine. Should be a good time. Hopefully we can win quickest AMC again like we did up in Rockingham. My wife's sitting over there laughing at me because I'm YouTubing. Yep, I'm an influencer, I guess. But anyway, hope y'all enjoy following along. We're gonna see how this weekend drag and drive treats us. We got like a 50-mile street cruise and should have to turn in 3 passes. So shouldn't be too big of a deal. The Javelin is pretty much exactly as we left it after Rockingham, and it won that easily. So we'll see how things go. Car is pretty much dialed in and ready. For those who don't remember, this is an AMC 401 board and stroke to 431 cubic inches with 13.5 to 1 compression, aluminum rods. We've got a bunch of Durali cooling components on it. It's got a turbo 400 with a trans brake. It's got a Ford 9-inch with a literal NASCAR center section with a 444 rear gear and a 32-inch slick on the back. So I got to get fuel for it, and then we'll be dialed and ready to go when they call us to the lanes. They're up here drying off the track still. I absolutely love Beech Bend Raceway Park. It's one of my favorite tracks in the country, and I'm excited to be racing the Javelin here. Anyway, let's get to it. Should be a good weekend. Well, I am ready. The car is ready, but the weather isn't ready. So it's raining. We've got a pop-up tent and the yaw haul parked out here, and the Javelin is now covered in water. So I'm gonna have to dry it off once the rain stops. But oh well, we're having a good time hanging out, just relaxing this morning. These drag and drives, the weekend drag and drives that Sick the Mag has started doing, are very low key, very chill. Way less stressful than the week-long challenge that you take on when you do a real proper drag and drive. So I'm a big fan of this. So we'll see how it goes, but so far we're just waiting on the weather. Now they got to dry the track off again, but we're ready, we're here, and we're having a good time no matter what. Well, we are officially in the car. They just called us to the staging lane, so I'm gonna get it fired up. We've got Sophia riding shotgun in the Javelin for the first time. Not your everyday car here, so let's fire it up and head up to the track. Here comes David up here at Beech Bend Raceway to do his burnout in the 4th gen. He's hoping for a high 5-second pass on this, I think. He's only spraying a little bit of nitrous, so we'll see how it does. Burnout from David there. He is ready to rip. Break it up a little bit. 630 though. Pretty solid pass. All right, well, we're about to go. They got us lined up here, and the rain is coming, so hopefully they get us through pretty quickly. I'd like to get a pass in before it starts pouring. That way we can do the cruise and then come back and race some more when it's dry. So fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Well, David got his run. He didn't get exactly what he wanted. He got like a 630. You were looking for a 590. It coughed on him. Meanwhile, we got caught in the rain, so we have put a pop-up tent over the Javelin because it is not exactly watertight, and we're gonna wait out the storm. We were literally in the staging lanes, and then they called it. And so we'll have to wait a little while, but this should be the last storm cell of the day, and then once they get it dried, we should be able to race. But this is a good bit of water.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So, not ideal, but it happens. Can't control the weather. We'll just make the most of it. Drink some good drinks, eat some good snacks, and then hopefully not be out too late tonight.
Hopefully
We were talking about Texas Roadhouse tonight. It's not looking hopeful at this point, but we'll see. We had to wait out that rain shower, but now it's a beautiful day. They've got the track dried again, so we're lined up here in the staging lanes right next to Mr. Mike Finnegan and Blasphemy, so hopefully we'll get ourselves a good lick in. We've changed the rear suspension just a little bit and adjusted the tire pressure, so hopefully it'll do what it should. Do you think it's gonna behave itself?
I think so. I think it'll make a good pass.
We'll find out. It's whether I cannot be the loose nut behind the wheel. Hopefully the car does its job and I do my job, so we'll see how it goes. So far, it has been a whole lot of hurry up and wait here at Beech Bend, but that's okay. We've had a good day hanging out with friends. We've changed the rear coilover on the passenger side a little bit more to try to keep it from squatting down like it's been doing, but overall, we can't complain. So it's a little after 6. We're gonna get on our second pass and then go for the street cruise and get some dinner. It's definitely taken a long time to get this racing done because Mother Nature has not cooperated, but that's all right. We're making the most of it. Anyway, I'll update you guys when it's time for the second pass. They just called radial, and so we'll be getting called next after the little gangsters run. It is officially time for run 2 of the event. Just hoping for another 6-second pass. I don't care if it's super consistent or not. I'm just gonna go up there and do exactly what I did and see what it does. And hopefully we'll be able to make the street cruise with no problem right afterwards and go get some good food, and then make one more pass tomorrow and win quickest AMC. That's the goal. We finally got ourselves a bracket car. Just ran a 6.79 at 101. The air's a little better, so it sped up just a touch. I mean, we're talking 0.02 of a second. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, happy with that. All right, so we've got the car switched over to street mode, and it's time to do the street cruise and get some dinner because we are all hungry. I'm riding solo. We're bringing the truck along because you're allowed to do that at this event. So let's fire it up and hit the road. Oh, it's so much nicer with the mufflers on. We officially made it to the first checkpoint. Unfortunately, David's car lost oil pressure on the drive out of the track, so I am solo. Sophia's riding shotgun in the Javelin, but we're at a old historic train station, and now we're gonna go find some dinner because we're hungry. Sophia's riding shotgun, enjoying the race car life, so we're gonna head to the Airbnb, park the car, and go find some food. Well, we decided to go ahead and do the street cruise in the Javelin at midnight, you know, maybe 12:30. I don't know what time it is. It's all a blur. So we just made it to the last checkpoint, which is the Corvette Museum right there. My buddy David rode along, unfortunately not being able to drive his car, but you know, he makes a good shotgun rider. So now we just got to make it back to the Airbnb and then make it back to the track in the morning and make one more pass and we'll be done. So that's a win. So far, so good. Javelin is running great, looking good doing it. Can't complain even a little bit with how good it's been. Good morning, everybody. We officially got the Javelin fired up this morning, day 2 of the Dragon Drive. Got Sophia buckling herself in, and we're gonna head to the track, get the car switched over, and hopefully make at least one more pass and turn in a really good average. Right now, our spread is very close together. We're only 18 thousandths from our first pass to our second pass, and there is another prize for most consistent. So if the car can keep doing what it's doing, we're gonna be in good shape. There we go, she's buckled in. Safety first. Here we go. Well, we officially made it to the track with no issues out of the Javelin on the street cruise. So me and David are getting it switched over right now. So cue the time lapse as we get this car converted into drag racing mode and ready for a pass. I don't know when they're gonna call our class, but we wanna be ready. So let's make it happen. We officially got the car switched over into race mode, and David feels like checking if his car has oil pressure this morning. So maybe it magically healed itself. I just laid hands on it and told it in the name of Jesus to be healed, so that'll probably fix it.
Oh, that fixes everything.
Let's see what we got.
Let's see what it does. No, that should be 75.
It wasn't terrible though.
It had some oil pressure. It took a minute to come
Yeah,
up,
it did take a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a little broken, but I do think all it needs is a refresh instead of a hole in the side of the block because you kept racing it. And
yeah, it's smart to stop now and put bearings in it. And
yeah, that's a lot cheaper than rebuilding an entire engine that scatters itself.
yeah, for sure.
That's a shame, but hey.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's part of racing. So, anyway, I guess we're just gonna wait for our class to be called and make another lick, see how the Javelin does. All right, so it is time for our third pass. That's all we need. So as long as I don't break it in the burnout box, we'll get ourselves a pass to be able to turn in a complete drag and drive weekend. Hopefully make a little money, because there are no other AMCs here with an AMC power plant, or any AMCs at all. So let's see how this thing will do. See if it'll turn the same number as yesterday, which would be really cool to see. So we're getting ready for our fourth run. We've already run 3 times, and our spread is only 18 thousandths across the 3 passes. So I may be in the running for best average, which would also win another $1,000. And I don't know if there's any other naturally aspirated big blocks here, because I may be the quickest naturally aspirated big block as well, which also earns another $1,000. So we're gonna find out at the end of the day just how many classes we've won. We have definitely won 1 class. So now let's go for some more. So if I can get another 680 or any number between 6.791 and 6.802, my average will get better and I'll be even more likely to win money. So we're gonna go up there and see what it does. Time for a fourth pass. Time for our last pass of the event. This will be pass number 5 for us, and we're hoping for a 6.80. So we're right between our 2 times. Hopefully I can avoid chicken footing it, because on the last pass we slowed down 500ths because I didn't have my foot on the floor when I left the line, and the 60 foot was literally that 500th slower. So anyway, we're chasing hundredths of a second. That's something I've never done before. We're almost chasing thousandths of a second, which is pretty wild. So the car's working really good. I'm super excited about it, and let's see if we can tighten up that spread just a little more. Come on, Javelin, do your thing. we had time for one more pass, so we're up here again. Just PB'd on the last pass with a 675. And we also learned that we are definitely not getting most consistent. There's somebody that's like within just a couple thousandths of their time, and we're like 18 thousandths, 19 thousandths spread right now. So it's statistically impossible. Mathematically, not happening. Yeah, we'll just make another run, see what it'll do. It ran a PB on the last pass. Maybe it'll do another if I remember what to do in here. But it's been a great weekend of racing. The car has been fantastic. Let's hope it has at least one more pass left in it.
Just floor it.
Just floor it, yeah. Good advice. Well, there we go. The final pass is in the books. We've got the car loaded up on the trailer with the yaw haul in front of it like we do. Had a fantastic time out here. Car did truly amazing. We PB'd. It's got a 675 at 101 miles an hour. And I learned that there's a lot more in it because the throttle is not wide open when the pedal is pushed all the way to the floor. My buddy David looked at that, and there's a lot more time on the table. But we had a great weekend out here. The car is still in one piece, and we won some money. So I know for a fact we won at least a couple checks. So we actually made money this weekend racing, which, you know, that's an unheard of concept. I broke even last time I did one of these events, and now I've actually made money. So I appreciate all you guys following along on these journeys. It's been a great time getting to share the adventure with you guys and show the crazy projects that we come up with, and being able to finish this car and actually take it racing and enjoy it. And now with my wife who's back there, thanks to each and every one of you guys for watching. I always appreciate the comments, the likes, and of course the subscribes that you guys drop down there. It helps our channel a lot. It helps us do more of these cool adventures, and I guess I'll see you guys on the next one.
Quickest AMC, the recently married Jacob Davis is your winner. Jacob Davis, come on down. Congratulations. For a car that he drug out of a barn for SIG Week last year, it's paid off quite handsomely, I think, so far. You won $3,000 with it so far.
Made money this weekend.
Don't say that out loud. Drag racers don't say that.
I didn't know you were allowed to do that. I thought it was off limits.
Yeah, no.
Thank you, Derek.
Congratulations, sir.
This is the first weekday after Sick on the Green, and what do you know? We're pulling a motor out of a nitrous car. Come on, man. Yeah, we're getting right after it, trying to figure out what's wrong with this thing. So we're gonna drain the oil out of it, look at some bearings, and see what's going on. No oil pressure.
Hopefully it's not too bad.
I mean, it had this much oil pressure. A little bit.
Needs more.
All right, David, I need you to turn around and accept your prize from the weekend.
Oh, jeez. Most bearing material engine oil. Yep, that's pretty much it.
And you get a big check.
I get $1,000.
Nope, read. It's minus $1,000. It's a major award.
I mean, there's something. Right there.
Winner. Chicken dinner.
Perfect.
Except you don't get to eat dinner. You get to eat ramen for the next 3 months now.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Oh, man, I couldn't help myself. You deserved a big check and a trophy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
There's been an interesting development. We pulled the pan off and all the mains look great. There is bearing material throughout the engine, but there is that. That's not supposed to be like that. Somehow his oil pump is broken without the oil pan ever being hit by anything on the bottom. So I don't know if just the pressure broke it or vibration or who knows. That's really weird.
Never seen that.
But like we said, probably just needs bearings.
Yeah. Hopefully we caught it in time.
That's pretty wild. That's one I haven't seen before that's still making oil pressure while doing that.
We hit like 5 pounds.
That's crazy. We decided to pull a couple mains and look at them, and honestly, they're not perfect, but they're very good. The crank isn't hurt at all. We pulled one of the rods, and it looked really good as well. Had a little bit that went through it at some point, but honestly, it's stuff I would totally run. Here's the craziest part to me, is this oil pump was completely broken off. The casting is completely sheared. Still don't know why that really happened, but all that was holding the oil pump onto the motor was this little metal strap that holds the pickup tube on. And yes, the pickup tube is welded to the oil pump. I mean, terribly. But that weld was keeping this pickup tube from coming out of the oil pump. And this thin little metal strap was all that kept this thing making even the 5 pounds of oil pressure that it was, because it would have literally fallen off and landed in the bottom of the pan if it wasn't for that piece of metal right there.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that piece of metal.
So if you think about it, every time this thing started making pressure, it would open up that gap and shoot oil out. So as it made pressure, it probably made the problem worse over and over again. And it would kind of like do this little thing where it got some pressure back and then, you know, closed up. And that's absolutely crazy that this thing was still actually making oil pressure. And we didn't break this off. It literally was in 2 pieces.
No. Yeah, we were trying to find the problem, and I kind of rested my hand on the oil pump, and it moved. That's not supposed to happen. So
that's crazy. Yep, time for a new oil pump. I think the rest of the motor's fine. Wild. You're good at breaking oil pumps. This is the second one.
I know.
And the first one was your fault. You pulled a massive wheelie. This one just
was not my
happened. We don't know why.
Nope.
Very weird. We're assuming all the metal came from this, but it doesn't look that bad, honestly.
There's a little wear on it, but really not too bad.
But it doesn't take a lot of metal to make something look like there's a lot of metal in the oil. So
there is some wear on the bottom edges here. It does get a little thinner. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah,
it's
our theory is the distributor was too far down and put pressure on the cam gear as well as pressure on the oil pump and possibly caused these issues. Don't know if we're right or not, but
sounds plausible.
So far, everything's looking really good. I think he's actually going to be cheaper into this thing than he thought he might be.
This roll pin's pushing out.
Oh, that's
I don't know if that got into anything or caused any issues, but that should be flush.
Huh.
So
it's a mystery right now, but our thought right now, you look at that real close. Look at the wear on the distributor gear. It's worn almost 20 thousandths from one side of the distributor gear to the bottom. So top to bottom, those little teeth are tapered from that excessive wear right there. So I think that's where all your metal came from.
Plus this roll pin.
Yeah, the roll pin. It actually got eaten by the cam gear, which is pretty wild. It's in line with that groove right above it. Never seen that before.
Nope.
That's a new one.